Tache Noire is a very interesting take on open world survival horror, and scratches a lot of itches I've had and wanted to see in survival horror for some time. And you can survive both the horrors of the world and the horrors of some jank. You'll find very entertaining and original time. We have come to a lovely little town to have a reunion with our four best friends. But when we arrive, we find the town is completely in disarray, things are wandering around, and no one knows what is happening. Tache Noire is essentially, as I said in the singer, an open world survival horror. You have the first half of the town open to you at the beginning, and then the back half once you make it through that. And the game is going to make use of a lot of that space. The big aspect of the game's progression is you learning some clue or rumor that will guide you to a particular area to find an item, weapon, key, MacGuffin, whatever, to then help you get further in. There is physics as well, as you can pick up objects and fling them with surprising force and accuracy. And there are, of course, some physics-related puzzles and shenanigans you can get into. And the game doesn't quite go into immersive sim territory, but kind of like dances around that, as there are means of sequence breaking and getting around a lot of the more like physical related obstacles in the game if you know what you're doing. Speaking about physics and obstacles, the enemy design in the game is kept relatively basic. When you see an enemy, they are going to come charging at you. And a big aspect of taking them down is you need to stagger them either with a hit to the legs or hit them while they're doing something, and while they're kind of momentarily dazed, they will take more damage. However, there's a bit of a twist. You see, all your weapons must be operated manually. That means you must manually insert new bullets into your revolver and remove the spent casings before you can fire again. And this can be quite difficult when they are charging and doing other things at you. And on top of that, enemies are very weird. And while I know a lot of people aren't going to check this game out because it's so niche, there are some very surprising what the hell is that moments that I do not want to spoil in this video. And as you go through the game, you will acquire better weapons if you survive long enough. But a big aspect of this game is the kind of puzzle design and the open world mystery. While you're still going to be dealing with enemies from beginning to end, the kind of progression is going to again be focused on you trying to uncover everything you can in each one of the game's major areas. And I really do like this kind of open world approach, that you are exploring a dead town. And every building is its own little vignette of clues, mysteries, or finding something potentially important or not at all. There are currencies you can pick up that you can use to buy from several vendors. Different items, you can upgrade your weapons. But all in all, this is going to be a game that's more focused on the exploration and puzzle solving, with the more kind of grounded and very slower paced combat. There is no melee in this one, so if you run out of bullets, you're in a lot of trouble. While all this sounds great, as I hinted at the start, this game is janky with a capital J. And while the developer has been adding improvements and fixing some of the bugs, there's certainly going to be a lot that's going to get in your way. So, in no particular order, I ran into cases where my character got stuck in between doors, stuck being able to go up or down ladders. At one point when I reloaded the game, it revived all the enemies that I just killed, even though I haven't ran into them yet in the save file. There's a bug that if your inventory items are kind of layered on top of each other, either because you did or because the game automatically did that, it will crash your game if you go into a inventory box. There have been situations where enemies got stuck in walls, stuck in floors, stuck horizontally indoors, stuck at 95-degree angles through walls into floors. Enemies just kind of popping in and out of the area. Sometimes enemies just appear out of nowhere. And I'm sure there's even more out there. And yes, this is one of those games where every time you make some major progress, definitely head to a save point and lock that in just in case something gets a little bit screwy in the back end. And if you can survive all that, I think this is a very entertaining and very underrated survival horror game. I've always liked to see more like open-ended survival horror. I could imagine a sequel like really leaning more into like the immersive sim aspects of it. And it's always great when you have this kind of more like slower paced take on combat to really heighten the terror of fighting even just one strange thing coming to get you. So with that, I would recommend this to any survival horror fan who again doesn't mind a little bit of jank and is looking for a whole wide world of survival horror to explore. Tache Noire was played with a retail key. We took your game for a future stream and showcase. It doesn't involve horrors, wandering around, or manually reloading guns. Be sure to get in touch. Be sure to come back for more discussions on game design and indie games coming real soon. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.